Visión Comunal, en contacto con las comunidades.
Venezuela in the news. News from the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. Headline:
Southern Common Market will gather on July 30th to discuss pro-temporary presidency. The Venezuelan parliament does not have the authority to remove magistrates from the Supreme Court of Justice. Venezuela could increase oil production. Venezuelan Foreign Minister Delcy Rodriguez confirmed that next Saturday, 30th of July, the Southern Common Market will gather to debate the transfer of pro-temporary presidency to Caracas. Montevideo insists on transferring Mercosur presidency to Venezuela. Paraguay and Brazil oppose. Rodriguez explained that the chair transfer to Venezuela must be carried out without inconvenience, for it is not a voting issue. It is about the founding treaties that express the rotation every 6 months in alphabetical order for the next country to automatically assume the new presidency. Uruguay currently holds Mercosur's chair, and according to the rotating order, Venezuela must take on the presidency starting this month and for the next 6 months, which is something that some members do not accept. Montevideo has reiterated in repeated opportunities their support to transfer the rotating bloc presidency to Venezuela on the basis of the rules of the 1991 Treaty of Asunción, funding instrument of Mercosur. Deputy Diosdado Cabello assured that the National Assembly does not have the authority to remove magistrates from the Judicial Court of Justice. Cabello alerted that the dismissal of judges is not only unconstitutional, but also represents a provocation and a threat. Last week, the Venezuelan parliament intended to repeal the designation of 13 magistrate judges of the Supreme Court of Justice carried out at the end of 2015. In the approved resolution, they also repealed the appointment of 21 alternate judges. On previous occasions, the Venezuelan parliament has adopted decisions that do not correspond to their duties, and these remained without effect. Deputy Cabello called on the Venezuelans to be aware of the intents of usurpation of functions. European Union ministers of foreign affairs will address today the situation in Venezuela, as confirmed by several sources. Last week, the European Union acknowledged that in Venezuela there have been encouraging signs for the building of dialogue between government and opposition. Already on 5 occasions, President Nicolas Maduro has called for national dialogue, but the opposition has not accepted. Director for the Americas European External Action Service, Roland Schaffer, said that the opposition could accept some form of dialogue with the government. The opposition has requested to include the Vatican and the OAS in the mediating commission. In the Council of Foreign Ministers, the head of the European diplomacy, Federica Mogherini, will defend the need for the European Union to do what it can to support the dialogue between the Venezuelan institutions. However, the Venezuelan government announced that local right-wing sectors sided with authorities of the European Union to destabilize Venezuela, with several trips abroad taken by opposition activists in search of political and economical support for coup-perpetrating plans. This has been denounced by the Venezuelan head of foreign affairs, Delcy Rodriguez. Caracas informed that the new investigation has been initiated to discover who finances the trips.
Venezuela in the news.
More than 60 companies have been inspected in the country after initiating a revision of the whole food production and distribution process, as informed by Minister of Defense Vladimir Padrino. The Venezuelan government initiated the supervision of companies to guarantee that the basic products are not deviated by smuggling mafias to Colombia. 40% of the food subsidized by the state are taken out of the country through smuggling. Last week, President Nicolas Maduro activated a civilian military action with the objective of ending these mafias. Caracas keeps closed the border with Bogota as a measure against smuggling. Venezuelan authorities confirmed the death of Aníbal Chávez, brother of late President Hugo Chávez. Aníbal Chávez served as mayor of Sabaneta de Barinas in the municipality of Alberto Arbelo Torrealba, located in the state of Barinas. Chávez's brother suffered from a complicated stomach infection that required urgent medical attention. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro lamented the news and sent out a message of support and condolences to the Chávez family. Venezuelan Minister for Petroleum and Mining, Eulogio Del Pino, augured yesterday the increase of crude oil production for which the country is strategically associated with foreign companies. Del Pino highlighted the sustainable growth of the Orinoco oil belt, with one of the largest proved oil reserves in the world. In the development plan of this industry, there are agreements signed with the Russian company Rusneft, co-creator with Venezuela of the mixed company of grills Rosven. He also mentioned the constitution of other entities like Vencana, an alliance with a Canadian private company for directional drilling, and Servicios Alex, another mixed company with a national entity. The Venezuelan oil production is around 3 million barrels a day.
News from the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. Headline:
Southern Common Market will gather on July 30th to discuss pro-temporary presidency. The Venezuelan parliament does not have the authority to remove magistrates from the Supreme Court of Justice. Venezuela could increase oil production.
Venezuela in the news. News from the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela.
Visión comunal, en contacto con las comunidades.